MyMac Podcast 969. What's up with Siri?
Hi everyone and welcome to this week's mighty MyMac Podcast. Well, a lot of people are very satisfied with Siri and how it works. Many others are not so impressed with Apple's tool. So let's take a look at Siri and where it holds up and where maybe it doesn't so much. Oh, and CarPlay Bluetooth too. These all from a listener question. Hey Guy, how the devil are you?
I am doing fine, Gaz.
Cool.
And it's been a very interesting week.
Has it?
Yeah. Now you were in on the conversation when we had Carl on the show.
Yes.
And we were talking about.
I was here. Yes.
Okay, the Steam Deck and
yes,
a few other things, and
yes,
and not that I'm impressionable.
No, not at all. No.
Did you say microphone? Not that I'm impressionable. But
no, I did not say microphone.
From listening to Carl talk about his Steam
enthuse,
Deck and how
listening to Carl
was.
Enthuse about his Steam Deck.
Yeah, he was very enthused. Infused? He was happy. He was a happy bunny with his Steam Deck, and it sounded really good. So I went ahead and bought one. And it came. And I was playing Left 4 Dead 2, which, naturally.
So my question to you is, are you equally enthused about your new toy?
Well, I really need to find what are the best games to play on it, because first-person shooters, not so much. Now, maybe if I was under the age of 20 and didn't already have all of my brain paths settled over the course of my crazy 60 years, I'd be able to go, oh yeah, I'll just make my hands do this. And it'll work fine. But
for all of those listening, Guy basically did a crab-like motion at his throat.
Yeah. And that's what you've got to do first-person shooters on the Steam Deck, I'm guessing. But the crazy thing, one of the other things he talked about was this little cheapy handheld game thing from AliExpress that was like $15 to $20.
Yep.
And
you didn't get one of them as well, did you?
I did. I bought one of those too. And I'm actually having a lot of fun with it.
One of those with about 6,000 games on it.
Yes. Yeah. And it emulates a Game Boy Color, and like all these handhelds from the 1980s. Except it has a way that you can actually output it onto a big screen, though. I can't imagine. I haven't done it yet, but I just can't imagine what that's going to look like, because, we're talking pixelated 80s graphics onto a 55-inch, 1080p television.
Oh, 1080p.
Yeah, it's just 1080. But regardless, it's not going to be good. But I am having a lot of fun with it, even though it has a crappy screen and questionable copyrights as far as the games go. And lastly, and you know about this as well, because I've been driving you crazy with it.
Yes, you have.
I've been playing with, and I talked about this last week a little bit, with Microsoft's Copilot, which is an AI thing. And it has a plugin from this other company called Suno, which lets you create songs. And I'm having a lot of fun with this, to the point where I actually went to their website, and I'm doing it from there, because you can do like longer songs and stuff. And I'm because I like Gaz and I don't want him to quit the show in disgust in the middle of recording this episode, I'm not going to play any of those songs here. But I will say that I've been talking to, and I don't know if it's going to work out or not, I've been talking to Mike Potter. You remember I tried to come up with a topic that had to do with Apple's accessibility. And as it turns out, when it comes to someone that has one eye, they don't really have much in the way of accessibility. So I was telling Mike, I said, I'm sorry, there's, I think I'm going to have to drop out. But based on the presentation that I did a show or two ago, where, we went through all those images, and now these songs, I think I have a solid, easily 45 minutes that I could fill at Macstock, which is going to be in July of this year. I don't have it in front of me. I think it's like the first or second week in July, the 11th and 12th. Whoops. Something like that. I will look that up when I stop talking and Gaz starts to talk about his stuff. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. How have you been, Gaz?
Well, I've had a wonderful week. Thank you very much, Guy. It was our anniversary this week, and we spent the day in Cambridge. Thank you very much. And we spent the day in Cambridge. We had a lovely day. Really nice meal. Really nice meal in the evening at a place called the Snooty Fox. I can highly recommend it in Lowick in Northamptonshire. Yes, I was also this week dropped off by Mrs. Gaz at one of her friends, and I rode back on the bike. Yes, 26 miles back, uphill and down dale. It was fun. We also this week went to see a Britain's Got Talent winner on Friday from a few years ago. He was very good, very funny. He sings and does comic songs.
I was gonna say, he's very funny, but he's not a singer.
Well, he was a singer. He's one of these all-round entertainers, and he was very good. Did a bit of magic, but it was comedic all the way through. So yeah, it was very good. He was going to pick on a guy at the front. Well, he did pick on this guy at the front who had lost both his legs and one of his arms. So he'd got two false legs.
I can see the comedic value there.
Well, you say that, and he asked him, he said, were you in the forces? How did you, lose your limbs? And he went, I was electrocuted. So we kind of left it there and moved on. But,
good God.
It was fun. We also had a meal with friends this week, the night before, and also over the weekend.
And they had all of their arms and legs.
They had all their arms and legs. Okay. Yeah, my cousin and his wife came around to stay over the weekend. So I had to go through my snippets very quickly this afternoon.
No, that's fine. We have lots of content this week.
Interestingly, though, Guy, this week it's a little light. There was lots of repeated snippets, which I didn't particularly want to go through. So this week I didn't really spend much time on MyMac. I do think we've got a slight delay in our transmission tonight, but we can live with that. We can live with that. That's fine. And Guy has put in that Macstock Conference and Expo will be July 12th to the 14th. Well done, Guy. They'll go into the show notes.
Yes.
And I think, as I've already mentioned, that I wasn't able to spend much time getting my snippets together. We'll jump straight into Gaz's snippets. Okay, so Epic Games, Guy, your favorite company, has taken on Apple and Google in Australia over alleged misuse of market power. They just can't stop helping themselves make them the favorite company in the world, can they, at this point?
Will everyone just stop playing that stupid game? What is that game? Fortnite. Just stop playing Fortnite. It's a crappy company, and they're really awful. Tim Sweeney.
Apple. Oh, now you've said that, and I've got to go and find it, and I go.
No, he's a jerk. Nothing unbiased.
Apple has started rolling out a new AirTag firmware update. I'm not quite sure how you get it. I've got an AirTag.
That's what I was about to ask you. Hand up. How the hell do we do that?
I think you basically have to make sure it's got a battery in it, which is up to date and, it's got power, and just turn it on. And somehow I think your phone will probably find it and it'll update automatically. It just works. Apparently.
Except when it doesn't.
Office 2024 for Mac, Guy, I thought this was quite good, will be available as a one-off purchase, as has most of the Mac Office suite been available, like there's a 2021 version which is going cheap at the moment, so but they're still available as a one-off purchase. That doesn't mean that you can get on the 365. That is still a separate one, but I still think it's good that, because a lot of people still have to use Word and Excel and all these others, and a lot of organization use Teams to contact each other with. So yeah. But love it or loathe it, it's good that it's going to be available as a one-off purchase. That is, you don't have to subscribe. Apparently, YouTube TV is rolling out multi-view on iPhone and iPad, and Android is coming in the coming months. If this means what I think it means, it's about time, YouTube. Because if it means multi-view, i.e. when you flip out of the screen, it then puts a little screen up in the corner, then great. But if it means something else, then boo, YouTube. So hopefully we'll see a bit more on how that works in the future when it comes out. I was so enthralled and didn't have a lot of time to look into what that meant, but I don't really care. When it happens, Guy.
Then we'll be happy.
Yes. Consumer Intelligence Research Partners, CIRP, has reported that a substantial percentage of personal computer buyers in 2023 upgraders from a crappy Windows PC or Chromebook to a Mac was driven by those who already owned an iPhone and or an iPad.
Almost like it's a gateway device of some kind.
Could be. Apparently, Apple has redesigned the Apple Store app purchase history page with more details and filters. So if you've been waiting for that to happen, go and have a look, because it's now done. A judge has denied Apple's attempt to dismiss a class action lawsuit over AirTag stalking. Apparently, the judge has denied Apple's motion to dismiss the lawsuit, claiming that Apple hasn't done enough to prevent stalkers from using its AirTag devices to track victims. I wonder if that firmware update that I mentioned earlier may have something.
Well, regardless, what more can they do? If you have an AirTag that's near you that's not in your network, it comes up and says, hey, you have an AirTag that's not in your network that's near you.
They've got to shake your hand, give you a little little thump on the side to tell you, and then they've got to have enough money there to pay you for any recompense that you feel that you are owed in a claw action lawsuit. For a former UPS worker allegedly stole $1.3 million worth of Apple products. So yes, UPS, for those outside of the US, is the United Parcel Service. I think it's a little bit like our postal service over here. He's been accused of stealing.
There's the USPS, which is the postal service.
Right.
UPS, so I think, is a separate.
So this is UPS. Is the ones in brown uniform. We do have UPS in the UK. Is that correct? Yeah. So that's a separate company. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Very brown.
Anyway, he's been charged with stealing the products from a UPS warehouse in Winnipeg, Canada, and reselling them on the popular classified ad site Kijiji.
How would you spell that?
There's lots of K's, lots of I's, lots of J's in there.
Good enough.
That'll do. Apple has released iOS 17.4.1, iPad OS 17.4.1, and now I have to also mention Vision OS 1.1.1.
111.
iFixit has praised Apple's diagnostic tool for DIY repairs. Well, you be careful, iFixit. Job listings on Apple's website hint that Vision Pro launch in Australia, China, and Japan later this year or soon. More on the China bit a little bit later.
Yeah, I was thinking it was more about the Apple car.
No. Apple's potential partners for iOS 18 generative AI features include Google, OpenAI, and Baidu in China, I think in particular. Steve Jobs' signed business card. How much do you think it fetched in auction, Guy?
Well, since
so a business card, and it's got Steve Jobs' signature on it. We don't know whether it's Steve Jobs'
business card. It's his business card.
And he signed it.
And he signed it. I'm going
How
to
much?
guess $250,000.
Oh yeah, I think you should have been there because it only went for 181,183.
Oh, okay. I did see this story, but it was one of those I just don't care kind of stories.
Obviously, because you got the price completely wrong.
Yeah.
Apple has dropped plans to develop micro LED displays for the Apple Watch. So what?
Good.
Good. Apparently, iPhone's emergency satellite features have led authorities to a group of stranded hikers for a 24-hour rescue operation. Now, the good thing about Apple stuff is it helps people do stuff like this. The bad thing about Apple stuff is actually it can make people think they are a lot more secure because they've got backup and they're not prepared when they go out hiking.
Stupid things.
And they do stupid things.
No. This isn't about going out and hiking. This is about going out and doing stupid things because you figure, doesn't matter. If I get caught in a blizzard and minus 40-degree weather, it's fine. I've got an Apple Watch.
I'm not saying these people did that. I'm saying it could lead to people thinking that they can. Jim Cramer has thrown cold water on the DOJ's lawsuit against Apple and calls it a buying opportunity for Apple shares. So a lot of the stories that I was seeing this week was exactly this. The DOJ has blamed Apple for the failure of Amazon Fire Phone and the Windows Phone and HTC.
How are they to blame?
Well, that's the lawsuit. So they're going through, obviously, they've got lots of arguments for it. So
stupid DOJ.
Apple's first store in Canada with dedicated pickup station is now open. It's Canada's second largest indoor mall, apparently. Apple Square One retail doors in Mississauga. Mississippi. It's almost like Mississippi,
Mrs.
but it's
Robinson.
not. Mrs.
Robinson.
It's in Ontario. There you go.
Okay.
It's just west of Ontario. That's close enough for me. And finally, Apple Vision Pro is to launch in China later this year. Apple CEO Tim Cook not today, but when this was released back on March 24th, confirmed that the Vision Pro headset will go on sale in China later this year. And that is the end of Gaz's snippet. However, I do have a Gaz's link. This one tickled my fancy. It is Apple related as well, actually. Very Apple related.
I'm looking for your fancy.
This device uses this device uses Apple's now open Find My network, and it is very cool. I've done a link to the YouTube, and it's basically a bike thing because I was watching this guy who's called the Ribble Valley Cyclist, and he's cyclist maintainer, but he also does cool bike stuff. And it's basically, is this the ultimate in bike security? The Nog Scout Alarm and Tracker. And this device has come about because of the Find My network, the open Find My network. So go and have a look and watch it if you want to. And if you're into bikes, watch it even more.
What was that guy's name?
I can't remember his name, but he's the Ribble Valley Cyclist. I think that's the YouTube channel.
That sounds like mass murderer. That's like a mass murderer kind of name. Look out! It's the Shropshire Slasher. No, it's that bike guy. Anyway,
yeah.
We have.
Anyway, that's the end. That is the end of Gaz's link. Thank you.
Okay, we have a complicated situation with this part of the show today, and the reason why it's complicated, and we're going to get to the questions that these voicemails brought up, and it was from Eric Diaz.
Eric.
Unfortunately, the messages are a little long, So
No,
I'm
that's
just
not
gonna
unfortunate.
play.
That's perfectly fine.
Yes, but we can't always play messages that are that long. But here's the beginning of the second message.
So part
Whoop.
part two, guy and gas. You see, you were complaining I didn't call in a long time, and now I'm leaving you too many calls. Like I was.
Okay, so
But,
Eric,
the calls were very apt because they were, as you heard there, it was probably going to be quite difficult to listen to. And as they were long, we thought what we'll do, or what Guy has done, is make sure that he responds and answers the questions that were in the call. So thank you very much, Eric, for sending those audios in.
Thank you. We really, really do appreciate it.
We do. But
the first thing that he brought up in the previous message, the one that came before that little snippet of the second message. Are you writing this down?
I am. I'm writing it all down.
There's going to be like a math test later based on this.
Okay. 42.
42. That's always the answer. He was having problems in his car connecting to it wirelessly with his iPhone, and the car and iPhone connectivity can be both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. You have to have both going in order for it to work properly. So, damn it.
Am I boring you?
Am
I boring you?
For some reason, I am like super tired, and I don't know why. It's like it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. It's not like it's like, oh, Guy, you have worked so hard. No, I haven't. I haven't done jack squat all day, and all of a sudden it's like, anyway. It's nobody's fault but mine. If you're experiencing problems with Bluetooth and CarPlay, here are some troubleshooting steps that can help get you back on track. Number one, and some of these are pretty basic, check your iPhone settings, ensure that Bluetooth is on, and you check that in your iPhone settings under settings Bluetooth. Also make sure that Wi-Fi is enabled, settings Wi-Fi. Tap whatever the CarPlay network is and verify that auto join is turned on. And this one probably isn't going to relate to Eric, but if your phone is charging, but the CarPlay isn't working, it might be restricted. Check if content and privacy restrictions are on and could possibly be blocking CarPlay. So open the settings app, go to screen time, tap content and privacy restrictions, and ensure that CarPlay is toggled on. Now, this other one, Bluetooth connection. Verify that your phone is connected via Bluetooth to your car's infotainment system. If necessary, remove and repair, and not by repair, but repair your Bluetooth CarPlay connection. And the other thing, and I've actually had to do this, and I know this sounds crazy, restart your phone and car and the car. Sometimes a simple reboot can resolve connectivity issues. Restart both of them and see if that helps. Now, in a lot of the information that I looked up, what is wrong with me? A lot of the information I looked up, it kind of don't you start. You're just gonna make it worse. And this is the thing. Check if your car's software for your infotainment system is also up to date. This can lead to many issues. Check online and there's too many possible ways for you to update your car's infotainment system for us to go through it here. Check online from your car's manufacturer for the latest updates and how to do an update for your car. It may even require you going to the dealer to do this. Now, I have a Kia Soul, and the way that you have to do it in the Soul is so stupid that I can't believe it. It's ridiculous. You have to get the update on an SP card, then get in your car with it running, put the SD card in this little slot, and then leave your car running for 45 minutes. 45 minutes and it has to be running. If it's just on, it won't work.
Wow.
Car has to be running, and it can take 45 minutes for it to update. Long time. Long time.
In the UK, you'd have to be in the car to do that because most people don't have a private drive. And if you leave your car running on the road, it is deemed someone's got to be there to be in control of it. So the police could come along and say, whose car's this? Why is it running on its own? Right. It's your car, it's your responsibility. You're nicked.
Yeah. What's all this then?
What's all this then? Hello.
So that's what I could find on that. If anybody else has other suggestions for I'm really struggling. If anyone has other suggestions for either repairing, reconnecting, or getting Bluetooth to work better, please let us know in a short message. Poke, Eric. The other thing he was asking about was Siri. So Siri works great for some people. And some of the things that he mentioned was that Eric is from Puerto Rico and has, how to say this without sounding insulting. He has an accent when he speaks English. So for whatever reason, Siri does not necessarily do very well with accents with certain languages, including English. So he has since switched to Spanish in order just to get the basic stuff working with Siri. And so when you look at Siri, there's certain advantages and disadvantages. And we're not going to go into a comparison of like all of the different digital assistants because that would take all day. But some of the advantages of Siri is
well, we really are boring you, aren't we? You're so tired. Just pinch yourself.
And I just used two bad words. Sorry.
Yes. So edit point. Deet, deet.
Deet, deet. It's simple to use. It's straightforward to use. You activate it with the home button or by saying, "Hey, S lady." And actually now you don't even have to do that. You can just say S lady and it'll pick it up. It has a wide range of functions. Siri can perform various tasks, including answering questions, sending emails, setting alarms, making reservations, and more. Cross-device compatibility. You can use it on all of your various Apple devices, iPhone, iPad. Wow, you can tell how old this article was. iPod Touch, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and Mac. It has multilingual support. It can be set to different languages, and its integration with the Apple ecosystem is really, really good. Now, some of its disadvantages: speech recognition challenges, which Eric was having a problem with. It can work well, but it's essential to speak clearly. Fast speech or strong accents may lead to hilarious misunderstandings. No, just misunderstandings. Listening issues. Sometimes Siri struggles to understand certain queries, especially in a noisy environment or with low quality audio. Dependency on Wi-Fi. Siri requires an internet connection, Wi-Fi or cellular for most tasks. It's not always, I love this, it's not always the brightest bulb in the room. Too often Siri gives up with simple requests and just tries to bring you the web results, even if you're in your car or listening at home, which can be very frustrating. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard my wife go, well, when is this game or when is that game? Here are some important links to help you with that. And she's like, no, just tell me. Just tell me. I said, when does North Carolina and North Carolina State play for, the men's final 16 in NCAA basketball. Let me send you some web links for that. It's like, just tell me when they play, and it won't do it. Limited smart home integration. Compared to other voice assistants like Alexa, Siri's smart home capabilities are less robust.
That's a politically correct way of putting it.
Very politically correct. In summary, Siri excels in simplicity, cross-device availability, and multilingual support. It faces challenges related to speech recognition and smart home integration. Damn right it does. Choose Siri based on your specific needs and preferences. Yeah. And don't even get me started on Apple's Home app and smart device. Apple has, see, this could be a rant for a whole nother show. Apple's integration with smart devices, even those that are, what are they? I can't even remember what they call their network now. HomeKit. Even ones that say HomeKit enabled right on the packaging.
Compatible.
Yeah, even I have downstairs, I have 2 HomePod minis. And about twice a month, I'll turn on the TV downstairs, and all of a sudden it comes up and says, well, we don't know where your HomePods are. It's like they're right in front of the TV. They're right there. They're both on the same network. And I have to basically have a hula hoop and dance the Watusi while trying to set up another network to get them to work. It's so frustrating. And Apple, if you're not going to fix HomeKit, if you're not going to make your integration with smart devices work a little better, then why the hell should we even bother? Why shouldn't we just stick with other solutions with smart devices? Because honestly, they work better than yours. Not that I'm angry.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it. What about you, Gaz?
I agree with you totally and wholeheartedly, Guy.
Boy, there's so much head nodding.
Hit it. Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
It's time for
Gaz's tip.
So, Guy, on
Sorry,
your
Eric.
Mac, don't apologize. Eric knows that we love him. We love
We
him
do.
long time. Did you know that, Guy, on your Mac, that's often using command and the period will act as an action to cancel the act that you're doing? Let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's say you've opened the save dialog, or you want to go to an export box, but then you suddenly don't want to do that for whatever reason. If you press, and you want to keep your hands on the keyboard rather than going across to the mouse and going cancel or escape, if you press command and the period, you'll go back to where you were before. Any dialog box, that will actually take you back. And there are some other keyboard controls which I've found out, and I didn't know they were, because we generally use the option and the command key. Well, if you go Control and K, that will cut. If you're doing, when you do Command C and Command K, well, if you go Control K, that will cut. If you go Control Y, that will paste. If you go Control F, you will move your cursor forward. If you go Control B, that will move your cursor backward one.
Like in a text document?
Yes, in almost any text document that runs on your Mac. If you go Control N, that will take your cursor to the next line. Control P to the previous line. Control V, the next page. Control A, the beginning of the line. Control E, the end of the line. Control H will delete that little where the cursor is. Control D will forward delete, so it will delete the next letter that you've got there in. Control A will insert a blank line. I didn't know that the control and all those letters did all of that. So I think that I'm a clever bunny for finding it, don't you?
And letting us know about it. Nod, nod, nod.
Hit it. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's the end of Gaz's tips.
Is that the end of the tip?
Will you let me finish?
Gaz, you are absolutely right.
There we go. Oh, now,
Now,
I actually have a guy's pick this week.
steps back in amazement.
Yeah.
I wonder what it can be. It's surely not another AI thing, is it?
No. Well, yes. Yes, it is. I was telling you at the beginning of the show how much fun I was having with Suno, that AI song creator, and it's really easy to use.
Newsreel.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's a printer.
Oh, it's a newsreel.
Okay, it's a newsreel.
Printing.
Careful, I'll start playing the jingles. You know what happens then.
Oh, okay, yeah, Karen.
Stop the pressures!
So basically, you go to Suno.ai, sign up for an account, and you too could be making 1 to 2 minute songs of literally anything that you want to have a song made about, in pretty much any genre that you want to have it made about. It's really a lot of fun, and I'm having a blast with it. We have a lot of feedback this week, Gaz.
And had a lot of feedback, because obviously initially we've already had Eric Diaz sending in lots of clippets.
Yes.
Clippets. Oh, that's a new section for it. We can call it clippets.
Clip it. Well, who's the first one from?
Oh, so Bob Wood sent in
This is Wob Wood.
Yes.
Messages. We don't need no stinking messages.
You know I was ready with that one.
You threw me, actually. Well, Bob Wood sent in this.
Just fooling.
He said, here's a little audio clip that may bring a smile to Guy. Well, I've got to say, Bob, it didn't bring a smile to Guy.
Well, I'm smiling now.
Because he's forgotten why
Just fooling
is relevant to yourself.
See, now he has to send in an audio.
I'm gonna leave it there because I can see the perplexed look on your face and it's making me smile.
So
I like it, Bob. I get it. I understand it. It's just you're dealing with Guy here.
Yeah, and good luck with that. So
Thank you.
Send us a call in and let me know, because Gaz apparently already knows, and he has no intention of sharing that information.
I haven't.
With
I'm
me.
not going to share it with you because
Not
I
a
like
single
to see.
bit.
I
Not
like
a
to see
single
your
bit.
despair.
Yeah. Leave me
like-
on tenterhooks.
Yeah,
Thumbs up.
Well, Guy.
Yeah.
His name was Guy.
Okay. All right.
I love it.
Just fooling.
Oh,
It's not right though, is it? It's not right for you.
No fooling.
Okay.
there we go. Oh, is that what that was about? Okay. All right.
Well, I'm assuming it is. I could be wrong. I
All
could
right,
be
well,
wrong.
Bob needs to call us and let us know.
And I think
'cause-
you were just fooling with Bob some time ago as well.
No, I had no idea until you played that second bit, and then
No, I
like,
think you might.
all of the
I think,
cogs and gears started
I think
to
you
fit
might
together.
have said something with reference to Bob before and said just fooling. So it could be that as well.
Okay.
Bob will let us know.
Yes, and thank you, Bob. Completely confusing me. And I say that like completely confusing me, like it's such a
Like-
hard thing to do.
Yeah, like that's difficult.
Yeah. It's like, what does that red light mean? I don't know.
His name was Guy.
There you go. Okay.
You've got to wait now. Carry on.
No, I can't.
No fooling.
Thank you. Did you have any other audio things?
No, I don't, but I believe you might.
I do. NCGreg called in, and I had not listened to this. I basically found it just about a half hour before we were going to start the show. So I
there could be all
downloaded it and
sorts of
dropped it in.
effing and jeffing on it, and you don't know.
I have no idea, but we're going to play it right now and find out together.
Hey guys. Greg from North
Hey.
Carolina.
Hi, Greg.
I had to stop at the very beginning of the latest MyMac podcast and tell you this. 32. If you're on podcast 968, you are 32 away from 1,000. It's simple subtraction.
It is.
Do I have to do everything for you guys?
You do.
The preceding message was intended to be humorous. Any perceived anger was not genuine and included for comedic purposes only. All rights restricted. Void verbal behavior. This message may not be used with the express written consent of the Commissioner of Major League Baseball.
Oh, dear.
Thank you, Greg. And for people who don't get it, last show, 968, I was like, we're just like X number of shows. It's like I just couldn't remember off the top of my head how many shows we were away from 1,000. And Greg called in to let us know. So thank you. Thank you, Greg. Really, really do appreciate it. And we appreciate all of the feedback
We do.
that we get here on this show. It is greatly appreciated. And if you do it for the first time, you will get
Ooh.
something back
Ooh.
that will change your life and will bring you fame and fortune
Permanently.
though it may not actually do that. So I figured I'd better put that in there. And that is called a Woo T. And if you don't know what a Woo T is, it is a big W, big O, big O, big T, little I, little E, exclamation mark, and that's Woo T. And the only way to get it is several ways.
The only way to get it is several ways.
Sending in an audio comment for the first time, doing something terrific for the show for the first time, sending in some financial little thing that we'll talk about later, putting like some kind of big round white ball next to your eye. Those are all of the various ways that you too, all of you, Gaz can't have one, he already has one. You can get a Woo T as well. And you won't know how your life will be changed by it until you do. So get cracking on those things. If you would like to support the show, you can. You can go to patreon.com/Macparrot. You can also go to ko-fi.com/Macparrot. You can also pay a pal at paypal.me/Macparrot. Now, Gaz.
What?
If people wanted to contact you and say, where can I find one of those big white balls to put next to my eye so I can get a Woody, how would they do that?
Ever so easy, guy. It's ever so easy. Send an email using your email client of choice, that is, not Joyce. Joyce is a very nice person, but
I'd
got
like
nothing
Joyce.
to do with
She's
this.
wonderful.
Yeah. Anyway, send in an email using Joyce to Gaz, G-A-Z,
Cars.
MyMac.com, or on the Twitters, or on the Mastodon, or on the X's, or on the Threads, or on the Instagram, or all those social places. Just look for Gazmaz and you should be able to find me. That's G-A-Z
Cars.
M-A-Z.
Cars. Did you say Threads?
Threads, yes.
Threads, right. Okay.
Threads, yes.
Threads.
Without a Z. You can also send a tweet or an X tweet on X to Guy and Gaz, G-Y-A-N-D-G-A-Z.
Cars.
You can also send feedback to feedback@mymac.com. That's FWDBACK at mymac.com.
His name was Guy.
Was it?
He's the guy.
Guy's the one. Guy.
Guy?
You remember Guy?
No foolin'.
If you want,
An email from Guy.
how the devil would they do it?
You can't. It's impossible. I'm impossible. No, I'm not impossible. I'm improbable. That's what I am.
Yeah, you are improbable.
I am improbable. Who
In
the
this
hell
universe,
knows what's going on in my head?
Who the hell knows
Nobody
what's going
knows.
on?
Nobody knows. Even I don't know what's going on inside my head. You would send that an email to at mymac.com. You could also send that over on the Zwitters to either Macparrot or VertShark. Over there on Social and Mastodon.social, I am Macparrot. There is the VertShark channel over there on the Tubes of You, where you can like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Really would appreciate it if you would subscribe. You'll get all of the vids. You can go over to vertshark.com. vertshark.com. And you can see all of the odds and all of the vids. They're all over there. And yeah, that's a lot of the various ways that you can do those things. And it all starts with you. Right there. Kaz, for all the people that want to call us on Google
In
Voice,
America.
remember, if you're outside of the United States, you have to dial your country code, then a 1, and then this number.
No, their country code. Not your country code, not their.
Yeah, they have to
country
dial
code.
the U.S. country code, don't they?
Yeah, you said outside the US, your country code, then 1. That's not right, is it? Surely not. They wouldn't dial their own country code and then the 1, because
Well, they
that's
could.
that's
I'm not
just
saying it'll
nonsensical.
work.
That's just nonsensical.
It won't work, but you can do it if you want.
Oh, well, try and call Google Voice on 703-828-4677 anytime.
What's that number? What's that number?
703-828-4677.
Yeah. And, we started doing all this because we wanted to make sure that people understood that you could possibly incur charges if you dialed it directly, and of course, in the process of trying to make it clear, we've just made it even worse. So if you want to call that number, 703-828-4677, and you're outside the United States, you dial the U.S. country code, which is 01, then a 1, and then the number that Gaz said.
703-828-4677. Or just send an audio clip on the email. That's
that's actually easier and certainly cheaper. So I would like to say thank you to all of you, especially Eric Diaz. Diaz. We appreciate the fact that you called in this week. I have no idea why I'm saying it like this. We thank you. We thank all of you. And we're deeply humbled by the fact that you've taken the time out of your day to contact us for whatever reason you may have to contact us. And there's so many different reasons why. But I think that I would like to say that this week, we were good enough.
Yeah, we were.
We were. And this week,
G-Men. Go G-Men.
Were we smart enough?
No. Yeah.
Questionable. And that doggone it, Wolf. He did not come in. He didn't come in tonight.
No.
He's probably sleeping in the corner going, when is Dad going to stop talking to that big blonde idiot? In just a little bit,
exactly
Wilf.
that.
In just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
People like us.
What's the difference between a piano and a fish? You can tune a piano,
but you can't
tune a fish.
Ha ha ha. Yes. Yes.
nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on home and go home.